All right, it is Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. What else time is it? It's time for the Sports Goombahs Fantasy Football Show. I am your host, Mikey the Wall. Thankfully not brought into you by Cashy and his promo. I am joined by my co-host tonight. This is he looks familiar, and if he does, it's because he's my brother. Kyle, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. You're flying me out here. I love it.
We flew him out first class, actually. First class Southwest.
It was awesome. It was great flight. Got some drinks in me. It was perfect.
He is our Tampa Bay Buccaneers insider. Flew all the way here from Tampa. But we're here for Week 6 fantasy football. And before we get into it, Kyle, I ask you if you could please remove your Pepsi Max from the table.
Sorry.
We don't have any gaffer tape for that, so we can't afford that.
We can't afford those sponsors.
Get any questions? Call text 267-563-2893. I'll slow it down. It's 267-563-2893. You can also find us on Facebook, Sports Goombahs. You can tweet us at Sports Goombahs with your questions. We've been getting them out there. Before we get into also, we have our question of the day. It was out there on Facebook. It was out there on Twitter. We are 5 weeks in the season. Roughly fantasy-wise, about a third of the way in. Who do you of all the rookies? It's been some good rookie players, some not so good rookie players. Which of the rookie players has been the biggest letdown for you on the season? We threw a couple suggestions out there for you. Of course, homegrown here, Nelson Aguilar. He's been pretty bad. He's getting a lot of votes actually. Also, Amir Abdullah, Melvin Gordon was another one out there. Devontae Parker getting some votes. And about Devin Funchess. So anybody who thinks has been a letdown, I don't know any of the two rookie quarterbacks, although I don't think anybody was really expecting anything from them. So I really wouldn't consider them, letdowns at all. They aren't much. But yeah, let us know one way or another, whether you call us, you tweet us, you Facebook us, however you want to get it to us, let us know. What do you think? Who's been the biggest letdown? And Kyle, let's kick things off with quarterbacks before we get into it off.
Get right into the rankings.
Actually, I do about it. No, we don't want to get into rankings. I do want to mention actually, real quick, in an upcoming week. I'm not going to give you all the details yet, but stick with us. We're going to be giving you free tickets to see the undefeated Temple Owls, courtesy of the SG Fantasy Football Show. So tune in next week. We're going to have more details on that as well. But I wanted to get that out there first before we go in the rankings. So. Time for the rankings. Quarterbacks, of course, start first, as always, and I will kick it off. My number one, I say it every week. It's not like a broken record at this point, and it's Tom Brady. It's always going to be Tom Brady. And this is the perfect storm of FU.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's played some really awful teams. He's played the Jaguars and a couple teams that allowed him to really FU, but at the Colts. This is the culprit. This is ground zero.
They're scoring 90 points this week.
This is ground zero for Tom Brady and Deflategate. Is on the road. So and Indy's, and it's even better because Indy's bad. So he's gonna have all the chance in the world.
They can't stop him whatsoever.
So if Brady's not scoring 35, I don't care unless you're in one of those weird leagues. I was talking to Dante, who hosted the show this week, and he said it's I don't know what the scoring. You get bonus points for like 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards. I think it's point per completion. He said
bonus points should never be in a league.
It should never be in a league. No, we've made that very clear. But yeah, he said the average quarterback is like 50. I was like, Jesus. In that case, if you're in Dante's league, I expect Brady to put up 100 points then. That being said, also number 2, I have Matt Ryan. He's on the road. He's in New Orleans. He's still in a dome, though, which I do like. In New Orleans defense, we've seen they've been getting torched by everybody but the Cowboys. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers follows at the top 2, I think, for the first time all year. He's at home against San Diego. San Diego's feisty, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. Number 4, Drew Brees. At home, he's playing tomorrow night. He's not dead. He threw some garbage TDs last week. Ended up having mid-20s points. So
this is all fancy wise. It's not real life.
Yeah,
we don't need him for real life.
I don't need any of these guys for real life.
All we need is pigeon points.
Trust me, that last touchdown from that Breeze to Cook's touchdown. That was huge for me personally.
That's the definition of a pigeon.
I still lost anyway. I put up 175. I had second most in the league, and I lost. Go figure. Number 5, Andy Dalton. He's at Buffalo. Andy Dalton is shockingly been phenomenal. I do apologize. I am still sick, as you probably heard on the Monday show. I'm assuming you're all listening to that. I'm dying over here, but nothing's going to stop me from bringing you my knowledge. I got to pass along my knowledge.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton against Buffalo, number 5. Number 6, Eli Manning at Philadelphia. Excuse me, I'm literally dying. God, if you want to go with your top 5 real quick.
All right, we can go with my top 5. I'll see number 1, Tom Brady, FU mode.
To the max.
Yeah, Patriots are going to drop 90 points. Whatever the record for points is, the Patriots are breaking that record.
Stupid.
This week.
Not remotely true.
100% true. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback in the country, in the world. Number 2.
He's the best?
He's the best. Who's better than him?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is not better than him.
Yes.
No.
Yes. All right, you can go.
All right. Agree to disagree. Number 3, Andrew Luck. Sunday night, primetime games. I'm all about night games except for Thursday nights. Sunday night and Monday night, I'm all in on those kind of players that play in those primetime games. They come to play.
It's all right. I'm told I'm dying.
Should I scoop more?
I literally had to leave work today. I couldn't work anymore. This supersedes work. Sorry for listening.
Number 4, going Carson Palmer at Pittsburgh. He's great play. He's been killing it.
By the way, I do agree with the Thursday night assessment.
It's such sloppy play. You
as I said that, offense. I have my number 2 and 4 quarterbacks playing Thursday. But, I mean, Atlanta and New Orleans in a dome is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, that's why my next one is Drew Brees on Thursday. Only because it's in the dome. I hate Thursday games. I hate every offensive player on Thursday games. But for some reason, this Thursday game changes everything for me.
Because the match,
future rankings.
Because usually it's the Jaguars versus the Titans.
Yeah.
And the Bills and the Dolphins.
So that rounds out my top 5.
Keep going.
Go along with the 6 through 10 now? Yeah. All right.
Go with it. Roll.
So
You're hot.
So in 6, Matt Ryan in the dome Thursday night. Only because it's in the dome.
Completely against everything you just said.
I know, but that's it's just
fine.
this matchup.
I say this all the time. I say things and then I immediately negate what I'm saying with my rankings.
Oh yeah, my rankings, even running backs, receivers, it goes completely against my Thursday night rule.
Yeah.
But I just have to because of this matchup in the dome. All right.
Do you like this matchup in the dome?
Love this matchup.
Okay, I didn't hear you say it enough yet.
Because both defenses are so bad and both offenses are so good.
Mm-hmm.
So it supersedes my no Thursday night game rule. So then who we got? We got number 7, Matthew Stafford.
What?
I'm expecting a
what?
huge bounce back from Stafford against Chicago.
Is he going to beat out Dan Orlovsky?
One of the worst defenses in the league. Yes.
Yeah, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
He's not one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
Oh my God. God, I couldn't disagree with that any less, but keep going.
All right. Number 8, Phil Rivers at Green Bay. He's still he'll give you those really big games.
It's not a sexy play.
Yeah. He'll give you the big games, but then he'll also have a dud for you. So I'm expecting a big game this week.
It's probably going to be a dud.
Green Bay's defense it's pretty tough, but I still think Rivers can.
Wait, what do you win? Are you in 2 leagues?
I am in 2 leagues.
Records wise, because people need to know what they're dealing with here. If you're 0-4 or 0-5, both of them.
No, both leagues I'm 3-2.
All right.
So
we have an above average co-host today. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all we strive for here.
But to be fair, I had to go up against Aaron Rodgers and his 70 points that 1 week.
Okay, that's fair.
The
5 touchdown game.
I just did not stand a chance.
Speaking of co-host, by the way, wish happy birthday to Pat. Good old not back by popular demand, Pat. It is his birthday today, so I wish him happy birthday. We'll be seeing him shortly. I'll probably be here in like a week or so.
Number 9, going with old noodle arm, Peyton Manning.
Oh, old noodle arm.
At Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is good, but he's still Peyton Manning. Offense is still going to score a bunch of points.
He throws ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing was in the past couple of years, these ducks have been completed. They're not being completed right now. The old noodle arm.
Yeah, but noodle arm's got this. And rounding on my top 10, Blake Bortles versus Houston.
So you did top 10?
Yes, I did top 10.
I appreciate you listening to my request for the top 12.
No, I actually do have top 12. I completely forgot about that. But my 11 is Tannehill at Tennessee.
God.
12, Russell Wilson versus Carolina.
So you're expecting a lot of bounce backs.
Yeah. Because especially with Philbin getting fired, I just think he was
I agree. That was a great firing.
Terrible coach. I'm expecting bigger things from everyone on Miami, offense and defense.
All right, I think I'm recouped here. Like I said, my number 6 was Eli Manning at Philadelphia. I can't see a scenario in which Odell Beckham and him don't have a field day. Number 7 is Noodle Arm. It's like I don't like even putting him up this high. And this is Peyton Manning, of course, in case you weren't paying attention 30 seconds ago. But he keeps having these matches. He's against Oakland, against Cleveland. It's like, I'm going to keep starting you. I don't want to because you're probably going to throw no touchdowns and 2 picks again like you did last week. But you got to ride with him against Cleveland. Why not? Although, according, I think it was Bill Polian, I saw he did his top 10 Super Bowl contenders. He had the Browns in the top 10.
Wow.
Also the Titans too, in case you're wondering. So you can check.
That's a little off. Not the Titans.
Yeah, that's a little wild. Number 8, Sam Bradford at home against the Giants. It's just it's prime time and it's Eagles Giants. There's going to be some points on the board. Number 9, Carson Palmer at Pittsburgh. Palmer, man, he's legit.
He's here to stay.
Yeah,
that's why he's my number 4 quarterback.
He's legit. My number 10 is also Blake Bortles. I think you had number 10 as well. Blake Bortles, man. Although I unfortunately have on my notes here Blake Bortles at home against the Jaguars. I'm assuming that's not his matchup. That might have been today in practice.
Yeah. That was today.
I was looking at his practice schedule.
Yeah.
Bortles, I believe he plays.
He's actually at home in Houston against Houston.
That's why. That's why I have him, because he's against Houston. Houston's awful. Number 11, much lower than Andrew Luck. Wow. And that's if he plays. I never even know what this guy anymore. I'm pulling a plug on him as of now. I've had him. Yeah, but I've had him high. This is your first time, so you can be wrong. Yeah. I've been wrong on this guy like 4 times. I keep putting him top 5, and either doesn't play or when he does, he puts up 17 points. Yeah. My number 12 is Phil Rivers at Green Bay. I just think it's solid. Again, Phil Rivers is not a sexy player anymore, but he gets points. He'll throw a couple touchdowns, and they'll probably be trailing, so he'll probably get some pigeon touchdowns. My sleeper of the week. I'm going to the other end of that game. I have Brian Hoyer at Jacksonville. Hoyer was very good off the bench when he relieved Mallett, and he was solid again. His team may be awful.
He's only ever been good off the bench, though. He's never been good when he was at the actual starter.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got one of the best receivers in football to throw to. He's playing against Jacksonville, who's not exactly the greatest. My bust for the week, they're actually playing each other, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. I'm staying away from this game altogether. I don't like either of them.
I'm spot on with you on that bus. Got Russell Wilson and Cam Newton on there.
Get them both?
Yeah, both on the bus list.
And we didn't discuss this, and usually it's only one. So that's good. That says something.
Yeah, I'm just trying
to stay away from the game.
I want to stay away from the game. But my sleeper, Blake Bortles, because depending on how he is in the league.
I understand. Yeah, it depends. I mean, you're not sitting here like, oh man, I'm going up against Bortles. I'm screwed this week. But
I also do have
a good play.
I have a deep sleeper with Josh McCown.
I don't even think he's that deep anymore.
He's been awesome these past few weeks.
I wouldn't even call him deep sleeper anymore. The guy's been really good. And also, we just got a tweet. He's from at Big Seth 87. He's asked, is that Kyle Walpole in the flesh? He's also he's wondering, because you did text me before and you said, what's the dress code in the 515 studios? I said casual. You came in with some slacks and a skinny shirt, so I guess you didn't get. I guess you said business casual.
To me, this is casual.
It's not casual attire.
When I'm at home playing video games, this is what I wear.
That is exactly what you wear when you're at home relaxing. I'm currently wearing comfy socks, fuzzy socks, and you come in here with slacks. Really showing it, really outclassing me. Waiver wire. I don't see anybody warning on the waiver wire. There's nothing new. There's no new breaking news, no injuries, nothing to go out and get. I mean, I'm assuming.
To me, it was McCown.
But again, if you know,
like 8% of the leagues.
Yes, I agree. But at the same time, I've said it last week. Actually, in my 3 sleepers of the week, I give out a couple here on the show, but the website, I do 1 quarterback, 1 receiver, 1 running back. Last week, do you know what I put out there?
What did you put out there?
Sleeper quarterback of the week, Josh McCown. Nailed it.
Like
Sleeper running back of the week, I believe I had Duke Johnson, who had like 20 points.
So you're just riding the Browns?
And I don't remember who's Duke Johnson. I got to look into that one again. But my receiver was Willie Snead, who had 26 points. So I was super 3. I remember I nailed all 3 of them. So listen to the sleepers. And that's the reason I don't have McCown as a waiver pickup, because I've already been mentioning him for like 2-3 weeks. I already told you to pick him up 2 weeks ago. You're a little behind the times here.
I'm behind the times.
That's fine.
I'm over on Tampa Bay time, so it's different over there.
Yeah, you're still riding the Jameis train. Running backs. My top 10. I'll start with that. My number 1, Adrian Peterson against Kansas City. I just think it's a safe play. I mean, Kansas City hasn't been great defensively. They haven't been as stout as we expected, but they haven't been awful either. And I think it's a safe play. Le'Veon Bell, number 2. He's at home against Arizona. Arizona's a great defense, obviously, but Bell supersedes great defenses. Again, with Vic being his quarterback, it's just scary. It's a wild card.
He hurts everyone on offense on that.
Yeah, he makes everyone's fantasy value go down, as we'll get to in the receivers. My number 3, Devontae Freeman at home against, or on the road against New Orleans. I just think it's got to ride him while he's hot, and he's still hot. Coleman's being worked back in. I think eventually they'll go to more of like a 60-40. We'll get into this real quick. Hey, welcome to the Sports Goombahs Fantasy Show.
Mikey the Wall.
What's up?
It's Dante.
I know.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
We're missing
How's
you,
everything going? All right?
It's a little smoother without you. I'm not getting yelled at and being cursed at and told I'm horrible, but it's all right.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Now, Dot, I have a question before you ask me a question. I want to ask you a question. Did you make any of
Yeah.
your famous waiver wire pickups this week or no?
Anyway, where do I pick it? So I picked up or what I
Yeah,
picked
because I know you only pick them up when you need them this week.
For me?
Yeah, forget it. I'm just making fun of you for your stupid waiver argument of I don't pick up players unless I need them for this.
Yeah, well, you know what? See, Ron in our one league stats, so he's never going to play him.
Oh, he stats?
Exactly what he were going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was going to hear from you after the tragedy that happened on Sunday. R.I.P. Jamal Charles.
I know. It's a shame. What to do now? Because now it's going to be running back by committee for the 15th team in the league this year now.
And did you get your hands on West in any of your leagues or Davis, anything?
No, I didn't. But I picked up Raheem Mostert in our league for a backup, even because
where's he?
We're
Chiefs?
going to stash him in off league just to make sure no one gets him.
Raheem Mostert.
That's the one guy you stash. You break your one rule and it's for him.
Yeah.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens picked him up as Dallas Farrow went to the IR, and Forset's hurt. So the only people on the roster right now in the running backs are Buck Allen and Raheem Mostert, who I got him stashed, baby. Hey.
I love that you break your one rule for not for any of these guys, James Jones and Sneeds all year, but or the Hankersons. I will break my rule for Raheem Mostert.
Oh yeah, Raheem Mostert is the man. He should have been an Eagle. He should have been an Eagle. He should have been an Eagle.
Got any questions for us? Or just checking in to give us your Raheem Mostert?
No, yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I was talking to you earlier about it. I wanted to ask you a trade that I was being offered, and Kyle, if you could comment on this. I have Tyler Eifert, okay, and the guy's trying to trade me Chris Johnson and Keenan Allen, and then obviously I give him Eifert, and I wanted to think what your thoughts were on that.
I told him to jump on it.
100% jump on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot let that slip past you.
Listen, I mean, Chris Johnson's value probably won't be as high as it is now because once Ellington comes back, for whatever reason, they're going to keep working him back in. But just off Keenan Allen alone, I would do
that straight up. You don't even need to give me Chris Johnson.
Hopefully, whoever you offered you that trade isn't listening right now because they may rescind it. But yeah, you got to jump on that. You really do.
Now, my only problem with that was I don't have another player on my roster.
As long as you're in a league where everybody owns two, I mean, if you're in a normal league, people just have like one. There should be. I mean, I don't know who's out there. If you check who's out there, I can give you, who I think is.
I mean, there's not much. There's like Jacob Tam in Atlanta. There's Larry Donnell in New York. I mean, like tight ends like that. But I mean, that's pretty much it.
I was actually going to say go away from Donnell as fast as you can.
Why?
I think Donnell stinks. I think he always has and always will.
I go Donnell. I had him last week in my fantasy lineup. That's
a shame. But I would definitely. I mean, obviously, it depends on who else you have in your team. If your three receivers are, Julio, AJ, and Antonio, you don't need to trade. But I'm assuming it's not. So yeah, I would jump on that. I mean, I'm going to see if I can pull up any possible free agent tight ends out there other than those two. But I would still. I'll still take. You always got to go best player available, and I think you're getting the best player with Keenan Allen.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. Even if the value of Chris Johnson isn't going to be as high as I may think, or even
is
may
Richard
not
Rodgers a free agent?
Keenan Allen's the best out of that trade, and I'd be getting him. So.
Now, is Richard Rodgers a free agent? I'd take him.
Yeah, I actually think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he gets some goal line looks from Rodgers every game. So, I mean, I would take a flyer on that. I mean, maybe Donnell. Kyle's a big Donnell guy, apparently.
Oh yeah, he's just great in the end zone for them because all the receivers are 5'11", 5'10".
Yeah,
he's our one big body in the red zone.
So, long story short, I'd definitely jump on it. Dante, what rookie's been the biggest letdown in the first half?
The biggest rookie?
What rookie's been the biggest letdown?
I mean, Abdullah in Detroit isn't doing too well.
No, he's not. No, that's one of the things I was thinking about too. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, well, who did you say?
We'll get to that later in the show, but we do have a lot of options out there, a lot of suggestions we've been getting on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Aguilar's out there getting a lot of votes.
Yeah, but you know what? Funches has been an absolute bomb in Carolina. I really thought that he'd do something this year. And with him being, with them not having any receiver and him being probably the easy number one, I don't even know what happened.
He got passed. He got passed on a death drop by Philly Brown and Ted Ginn.
Yeah, he had the Ted Ginn scoring touchdown. The Philly Brown, no one even knows. No one knows what's a Philly Brown. Like, what is it?
I think you could start a receiver over those guys.
Come on, he's from Philly. You have to love him.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why. That's why it's Corey Brown.
Yeah, well,
Corey Brown from Ohio State.
Yeah,
I know.
When your nickname's Philly Brown because you're from Philly, let's just leave it at that.
All right, Don. Thanks for checking in.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a great show.
Yeah, always. See you.
Take care.
That's Big D, last week's amazing co-host, and he was just that. He was amazing last week. Like I said, he came in. He didn't have nothing written down, nothing prepared. He was just going off the cuff. He's reacting to our plays. Usually just bash him, tell him has his famous word, dog shit. He's dog shit. I'm like, oh my god, everybody. Tom Brady's dog shit to Dante. He's not a Chief. I don't know where I was, but I believe I was at running back. I was getting to number 4. It'd be Eddie Lacy. Lacy's been underachieving, but he hasn't been awful. He hasn't been a bust. He just hasn't been getting in the end zone. They keep giving it to Kuhn or Starks, anybody but him around the end zone. But I think Lacy at home against San Diego is a good matchup. Number 5, I like Matt Forte at Detroit. Detroit's bad. Forte catch balls, and it's gonna be an ugly game. I mean, if you can get your hands on either Detroit or Chicago defense, I'd take either one of them. Number 6, I have DeMarco Murray against the Giants at home. They're starting to find a way to use DeMarco now. Hopefully he's happier. He had enough carries and he had a touchdown, good yardage. Hopefully he's happy. Number 7, Dion Lewis, perennial top 10. Perennial top 10 of Dion Lewis. Who would have thought? He's at Indy, and I think, if you can get a hand on any kind of Patriot this week, go with it. Number 8, Arian Foster at Jacksonville. Still working his way back, but I think if you're going to break out, this would be a good week to do it. Number 9, Mark Ingram at home against Atlanta. Ingram's been solid. He had a bad game last week, but they were trailing pretty much the last 3 quarters. I like Ingram. And number 10, I like Justin Forsett if he plays. I apologize again. He didn't practice today, so he may not play. Of course, did my laps before I read that. It just happened, came out today, or a couple hours ago that Forsett did not practice today. He's questionable. If he plays, go with him at San Francisco. San Francisco's bad, and Forsett had a good game last week.
All right, so my top 10 is not in the same order, but pretty much every player except one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the same. Got number 1, Le'Veon Bell. He's the best running back in the league. Number 2, Matt Forte. I have number 2. He will catch 9-10 balls a game, and especially against Detroit. I like that matchup.
Sloppy.
Yeah. Number 3, Devontae Freeman. Ride him while he's hot.
Exactly. Same reason. Ride him while he's hot.
Yeah. Just gotta keep riding him until he gives that one dud game. Then you can just forget about him. Number 4, Adrian Peterson. Yeah. Number 5, Arian Foster. Jacksonville, their defense is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Arian Foster.
No, I said I agreed.
I said,
No. Don't you dare talk negative of the Jaguars.
Well,
how dare you?
You're a big Jaguar fan because
I'm a big Jaguars fan. I mean, I know they're your cross the state rivals. So
yeah, I don't like them. They have to go away. They have to be destroyed.
So do you have your Bucs season tickets yet?
Oh yeah, of course.
What is it? Is it buy one get 15 free?
It was like $100, 50 yard, right in the middle.
I believe that. I fully believe that.
Number 6, Eddie Lacy for San Diego. He should 100% get in the end zone this week. Chargers.
That's not 100%. No. As long as John Kuhn's on the roster, he's never 100%.
No.
John Kuhn, man, you need to get out of football. Please go away.
The
go
Packer
away.
Fans love him too.
John Kuhn is the Fred Jackson of Green Bay. Snake.
And number 7, Dion Lewis, exactly where you had him. Number 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get your hands on any Patriot you can, especially Lewis. He's gonna catch so many balls out of the backfield. They'll line him up in the slot. Number 8, DeMarco Murray. He's finally happy.
Get your hands on Garoppolo if you can. Just throw Garoppolo in your lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll probably get 2 garbage time touchdowns.
If you're in a 2 QB league, just throw
Brady
Garoppolo out there.
Yeah, if you're in like a 20-team 2 quarterback league and you need to start some backups, Garoppolo's your backup to get.
Oh yeah. And then we got number 9, Marshawn Lynch. The only difference between our top 10s.
Mhm.
I don't like the matchup against Carolina, but he's still Marshawn Lynch.
He is still Marshawn
He'll
Lynch.
still break the tackles. He'll still have a fine game, top 10 worthy. And then number 10, Mark Ingram, Thursday night. Not a big fan of Thursday night, but Mark Ingram, he's the legit number 1 back there now.
But you are a fan of this game in the Dome.
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm a fan of this game in the Dome with these offenses and that bad defense.
My 11 through we don't differ too much because my number 11 is Marshawn / Rawls. Whoever gets to go with him. Rawls killed it last week. I did start him, by the way.
So
Actually, I don't know if Rawls might have been my sleeper of the week. I don't even know what I did. Number 12, Danny Woodhead. He's apparently he's a must start now. He's a must start. He's PPR. He's gonna get you anywhere from 80 plus yards total, plus his 5+ catches, and just that alone gets you 13 points. That's for not scoring a touchdown, that's as good as you're gonna get. Chris Ivory, number 13. He killed it 2 weeks ago. People may have forgotten about that because it was in London and then he had a bye week. But he comes home. He's playing Washington. Washington's defense is better than we thought, but it's still Washington, and I expect them to win this game. So I think he's gonna get a lot of fourth quarter carries. Number 14, it kind of drops off too, by the way, after this. Number 14, I have Gio Bernard. I'm never a fan of starting backup quarterbacks, but he's outplaying Jeremy Hill easily. Buffalo's not as good as I think we ever thought they were, and Cincinnati is better than everybody thought they were. So go Gio Bernard. Number 15, Chancandrick West or Charkandrick. I'm just gonna call him C West because I don't ever say that name ever again in my life. They're on the road against Minnesota. If he's in a Charles type role, and apparently I don't know why Nile Davis isn't the top guy. I can't fathom why Nile Davis.
That's why I don't have West on my list.
I hope Nile Davis
I just don't
completely runs this guy out of the water. But if he's in the Jamal Charles role, I mean, I'm gonna put him top 20 because they don't have too much else weapon wise. They have a receiver, a tight end, and that's it.
Yeah, they're still gonna run the ball a lot.
Yeah. We all know how much Andy loves to run the ball. Number 16, again, it's another combo. It depends who's starting, and it's only if these two are starting. I know Shady's not, whatever, but the Carlos Williams, if he starts. If it's not Carlos Williams, then please, do not start Booby Dixon. Don't start Boom Heron. We mentioned this last week. No Boom and Boobies. You can't have a Boom or a Booby in your lineup in any fantasy sport of any. Just don't do it. It's never going to play out. Number 17, Carlos Hyde at home against Baltimore. He got back on track this week. I think he had 90 some yards and a touchdown, and Baltimore's defense isn't that great anymore, not old Baltimore. Number 19, I said I was going to write him off, but because of the coaching, firing, and his matchup, I'm not going to do it. Lamar Miller, number 18, on the road against Tennessee. Tennessee, of course, is not great unless you're Bill Polian. And I think Campbell is going to focus more on the run. So I'm going to roll die with Miller this week. Number 19, another guy I swore I was going to write off, but because of the matchup, I'm going to throw C.J. Anderson in there one last time. Hillman did not. Hillman had every chance in the world to just put him on the bench, put C.J. Anderson on the bench. He didn't do it. But eventually, the Broncos, the offense can't be this bad all year.
No.
So I'll roll dice one more time with C.J. It's not a roll of dice. It's more like a roulette spin with C.J. Anderson because he may hit, but then there's 60 other chances he will not hit. But I'm willing to take that risk. Number 20. He's actually, from what I saw, he's actually kind of questionable-ish now. But TJ Yeldon at home against Houston. Houston's bad. And I'll give Yeldon the role. We had a couple bye weeks this week, which I didn't mention at the beginning of the show. The bye weeks this week, Dallas. I think actually the NFL scheduled this. This is should be a good week. It's scheduled 4 of the worst teams on bye this week. Dallas, St. Louis, Oakland, and Tampa. So it saves us a lot of crabby players.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I was allowed to be here is because Tampa's on bye. So
yeah, that's why you're not missing your season ticket game. So we're missing some couple guys that would be relevant. Doug Martin killed it last week, so we'll hear from him definitely the top 15 back probably again, next week. Also, Todd Gurley showed that he is for real, and that's my top 20.
All right, my number 11 was your 9 or 10, Justin Forsett. Yeah, he's coming back on San Francisco
as long as he plays.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's always pending. It's always pending a playoff.
I'm assuming
if he doesn't play, I'm still rolling with number 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm throwing him out there. And then number 12, I've just been dying for this. Carlos Williams, he's playing.
We've been waiting 2 years to say that exact line.
Oh, I love Carlos Williams. He's my guy.
I'll give him this. It's definitely been his guy. He's been telling me about him for I think since his sophomore year at Florida State. So you get the opportunity to pimp him up. You're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I knew
So,
that.
Yeah, he's number 12. He just catches out of the backfield. He can run the ball. Up the
I hope he
middle, on the
plays. I hope he
outside.
passes his concussion test.
Yeah, I hope so.
Was his concussion like 7 for him probably?
Around there, probably.
But when you're as dumb as Florida State players are,
Come on.
it's not like concussion really matters.
Not all Florida State players are dumb.
It might knock him into being smart or something like that.
We can't have that happen.
No.
All right, my number 13, Gio Bernard. As you said,
See, I was shocked I had him there. I didn't think anybody would really agree with that. But all right.
Because he doesn't start for them, but he's still their majority.
Yeah.
He's their linchpin. He's the one that they give it to now. 14.
They trust him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot more than Jeremy Hill. All that dude does is fumble. All that dude does is fumble.
All he does is score 1-yard touchdown runs and fumble.
Number 14, Shane Vereen at Philadelphia on Monday night. As I said before, I like these night games, these primetime games. And Vereen,
PPR.
Yeah, PPR, especially if Ruben Randall or Odell Beckham are out.
Beckham will not be out.
Then that especially just makes Vereen go way up the board. He's going to catch a lot of balls, and that's what we need in PPR. As for my number 15, Danny Woodhead.
Yeah.
Also catches a lot of balls. 16, Lamar Miller. I like the Dolphins now. Now that we get the Philbin out of there.
I would at least see him before I say I like him, but I like him more.
But I saw him last year, and he's a good player. It's just Philbin destroyed him this year. He destroyed the entire team this year.
Philbin may never get a job ever again.
He's the worst coach. He was so bad. Number 17 got Carlos Hyde against Baltimore. Exactly where you had him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finally coming along. Baltimore's defense,
it's
not that great.
Yeah.
Number 18, Frank Gore.
I thought about that, but
night.
I think they're going to get blown out of the water. I don't see him getting too many carries, and he's not like a great pass catcher.
Yeah, he's still good for on third down. Like he'll be in there for third downs. He's never down back because he's a good blocker. So he'll still get those shady 2-3 catches a game.
Oh, yeah. For 10 yards, and
well, yeah,
gotta take the extra 3 points.
Yeah, that's extra 3 points, and he's by far the main running back there. And then number 19, TJ Yeldon against Houston. Houston, their run D is not that great. It's all about rushing the passer. Number 20, Chris Ivory against Washington.
Not a big Ivory guy, I guess.
No, I'm not big on them, but
after you heard my persuasive argument,
you want to jump actually as you're talking about him, I was contemplating moving him up a little bit.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. Somebody else telling him like, I should move this guy up. I was so wrong.
But I decided to stick with my rankings.
My sleeper pick of the week, Antonio Andrews from Tennessee. I think he's pretty much one. I mean, they're still going to go the whole committee thing, but I think he's the lead guy. I mean, Miami's been bad, so ride Antonio Andrews if you have to. Which you may have to just for bye weeks this week. And my bust running back, John Stewart. I hate you, John Stewart.
I was going to put Stewart as my bust, but I just didn't think that was a bust.
It's too easy.
I think it was a bust at this point.
No, I just mean a bust is in like you just can't start him.
All right.
You can't start him.
All right. Well, my bust, you can start him, but I don't want to this week, and that's Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah,
he's my bust for this week. I take
it you're not going to be watching that game.
No, I don't want anyone on
playing
in that game this week. I just want to stay away from that team. And my sleepers, I got Shane Vereen.
Obviously, you have top 20. On the wire this week, there was nobody out there quarterback-wise, but running back-wise, obviously, you had to go out and pick Charkandrick West up. I mentioned him last week. Actually, he might have been my sleeper of the week. Charles Sims from Tampa Bay.
That's also my sleeper, too.
Yeah, he's definitely a wire. If he's still there, I mentioned him for a couple weeks in a row now. You got to jump on Charles Sims.
It's also my boy.
Theo Riddick. Yeah, he's your boy. Theo Riddick from Detroit caught 10 balls last week. They're bad, so he's going to keep catching passes as long as Reggie Bush isn't, or Joik Bell, or not Reggie Bush. Sorry, I meant Joik Bell. As long as Juckwa Bell's not playing, and also because as Dante mentioned with the guy with Forsett being injured and possibly not playing, Buck Allen, jump on Buck.
The next great, the final great USC running back.
Yeah, the final one. 30 for 30. That was phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
I got the reference. The injury reports, obviously Charles, RIP. I meant to wear black today for to bury and to honor Jamal Charles. And I was excited when it happened. And don't get me wrong, I don't root for injuries.
Should we pour the loud for him?
No, don't pour it out. If we're out, Cash, you don't mind, right? If you start pouring Coke on the ground. Generic brand. But I mean, I said this since day one. Preseason show week 1 with Dragons. Maybe it's probably second show because I think it'd be quarterbacks first or what it was. I don't know what it was, but I told you, stay away from Jamal Charles. The guy's a walking injury. He cannot stay healthy. It's not going to happen. Yes, for 5 weeks, you're going to maybe say, oh, I should have taken him. But then he's going to get hurt. He does it every year, and he did it again. I was right. I was right yet again, and I'm telling the world I was right. And if you drafted Charles, you were wrong again because the guy can't stay healthy. It just happens. This is what he does. He plays well, and then he gets hurt. That being said, obviously, West and Dave, I want Niall Davis to win the job. I think he's better.
He's definitely the better all-around back.
If Forsett doesn't play, and it's Taliaferro not being there, I wouldn't go ahead and jump in on Raheem Mostert, but yeah, I think Buck Allen would be a good pick. And then injury update, I don't know what's going on in the Bills' backfield. It's the plethora of guys who aren't exactly the sexiest, unless Carlos Williams was healthy.
Yes.
Then it's very sexy. He's a very sexy man.
Then that's the guy you want.
You
want to start him if he's available.
But
he's playing.
That being said, I don't think he's healthy. I hope he's playing because if he doesn't, I have no one else to go with. Before we get to receivers, as always, we're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, question of the day: which rookie player has been the biggest letdown so far through 5 weeks? And also, if you can call us, text us 267-563-2893. We'll be right back. I'll try not to cough all over you guys again. So we'll be right back.
Had damage to your house? Avoid the hassle. Just call Castle Public Adjusters. Get the edge on your insurance company. 215-752-1237. That's 215-752-1237. Or check them out at castlepa.com. Don't settle for less. Get the maximum for your claim. Castle Public Adjusters. 215-752-1237.
Hey, yo, Cassie, what are you doing?
I got plumbing problems here. I can't get the water to go down the drain. What am I going to do?
Call Guaranteed Plumbing, 215-342-7200 for all your plumbing needs. Serving the Philadelphia area and the greater Delaware Valley.
What was that phone number again?
215-342-7200.
Oh, yeah, oh.
All right, and we're back with the SG Fantasy Football Show. I'm, of course, your host, Mikey the Wall, joined by my younger sibling, Kyle the Wall, I guess.
I don't like that. I don't want that.
You don't want that at all?
I don't want that moniker.
No, I wouldn't want that either. It's just the fact that I couldn't think of else to call you. And yes, we got the quarterbacks, the running backs so far. Like you said, we have a question a day. Call us, text us, tweet us. We already heard from Dante earlier, who enlightened us on his amazing pickup of Raheem Mostert. Broke the rule.
That's someone you have to pick him up.
He fought for his beliefs, and then he gave in 1 week later at the hands of Raheem Mostert.
That's who
everybody has their limits. That's what they say. That being said, we're gonna get right to the receivers. I'll go with my top 10 first. My number one, Odell Beckham. I mean, you said that he may not play, blah, blah. He's going to play. There's not a chance in the world he doesn't play, especially with the extra day rest, day and a half, being a night game. But yeah, I mean, Eagles, what do? They get torched in the air, and they have possibly the best receiver in football coming to town. So I go down number one. Number two, DeAndre Hopkins at Jacksonville. This is the first time ever. We didn't have Antonio Brown or Julio top two guys. But Hopkins, he is 8 or 9 catches for 120 yards a game. He's guaranteed for that. And this matchup obviously favors him. And I'm glad to see that Hoyer / whoever's throwing the ball, they know who to get the ball to.
And I'd rather have Hoyer in there if I have the receiver for Houston.
Yeah,
I think he's the better, more accurate quarterback.
Yeah, Mallett's more just a deep ball, big arm guy. Don't be mean to Mallet. I don't know if you saw the report.
No,
it makes his grandma cry when he gets negative publicity.
He shouldn't miss his alarm and be late to practice. Then
is that what he did
back in training camp?
I thought that's the Matt Harvey. Number 3, Julian Edelman at Indy. It's good to be a receiver these days. I mean, these are all good receivers here, great recievers. I have more confidence in my top 5 receivers than in my top 5 running backs. But Edelman at Indy, it's gonna be a slugfest, and I'm saying sarcastically, it's gonna be a one-way complete beatdown. Number 4, finally, Julio Jones makes an appearance. He was more questionable or more likely not to play earlier. Now they're saying he's going to go. He said that. Yeah, I think he said that as long as he has a foot, he's going to play. Number 5, I have Emmanuel Sanders at Cleveland. And I'll just throw it there. Number 6, Demaryius Thomas at Cleveland. It's funny because like these guys are always in the top 5 to 10, and they play well. It's not like they don't do well. But then there's Peyton Manning's always like 8th, 9th, 10th, 15th. Because they get a lot of I mean, when he literally only has 2 guys to throw to. Yeah. So even if he has a bad game and throws for 240 yards and 1 touchdown, 2 picks, it's still 110 for Sanders, 105 for Demaryius, maybe like 15
There's no Cody Lattimore getting any balls.
No, maybe 15 for Norwood. Cody Lattimore, go to hell, Cody Lattimore. Number 7, Randall Cobb at home against San Diego. It's good to be a receiver for Aaron Rodgers. He's beneficiary of that. Number 8, Calvin Johnson. He's been undervalued, I think. I've seen him. I was looking at other rankings just to get an idea. I saw him having like 36th. Like, come on, guys. It's still Calvin, and he's playing the Bears. Yeah, if he was playing, the Cardinals again, it was getting shadowed by Pat Pete. That's one thing. He's playing the Bears. He's still a top 10 guy, and there's no way Stafford could possibly go another week without realizing that he has Calvin Johnson on his team. So I'm going to put him as top 10. Number 9, I have Larry Fitzgerald at Pittsburgh. Like I said, found this guy, and he's continued. He's done it every week. And until then, I'm going to keep putting him in top 10. And my number 10 is Brandon Marshall. He's at home against Washington. He's been phenomenal too. He really has been. And I think the Jets can win this game pretty handily.
All right. I want to start by saying, in my top 20, all these guys, I think they're all going to score at least 14 points or more. So none of these guys are like
don't
bad.
Take it as a slight if you're number 16.
Oh yeah. All right. So number 1, I'm going Julio Jones. That's literally the only receiver he looks at.
Yeah, and it should be.
Yes. So he's gonna have a monster game like every other week. And number 2, Odell Beckham. Obviously, Phillies.
Our pass defense is bad.
Yes.
I'll fill in that sentence for you.
Number 3, Julian Edelman. All he does is catch balls. That's all he does is catch balls.
Yeah. Even he's usually the 9 for 94 guy. But then last week, of course, he goes out 4 for 110. Just the exact opposite of what he usually does.
So then number 4, going DeAndre Hopkins at Jacksonville.
Same top 4.
Yeah. 5, AJ Green. Can't go.
I'm not gonna lie. I had him in there, and when I moved people around, because I had to move Brandon Marshall around with somebody. I completely forget. Yeah, but AJ Green, he's all right. AJ Green's 4A or 4B.
All right.
Sorry, I completely forgot AJ Green.
I was sort of waiting to hear AJ.
No, I had him there. I was moving people around, and I had to do cut and paste. And
I thought I was wrong. I was like, is he not playing?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. He's not. He's completely a top 10 receiver. Obviously, at Andy Dalton number 5. So yeah, we'll call him 4B. Is AJ Green?
All right. Number 6, Randall Cobb. I love slot receivers. I want to get as slotty as possible. That's what you want.
You want to get as slotty as possible.
Yeah, you want to get as slotty as possible.
I've never heard that before. I think for good reason.
Come on. Number 7, Demaryius Thomas. Old noodle arm. He'll still find his receivers.
He finds them eventually.
He'll find them 5-10 yards on the field and let them do the work. Number 8, Calvin Johnson. Megatron.
Great matchup.
Yeah.
If he can't score against Chicago, write him off.
Yeah, then he's
he's not in the top 20.
He's out of the top 20 if he can't score against them. Number 9, Larry Fitzgerald. Found the fountain of youth. He's back.
We've been using that for like 3 weeks now. You gotta stop saying that. Gotta find a new phrase.
Oh, and then number 10, Antonio Brown. He's still Antonio Brown.
He is still Antonio Brown, but unfortunately, the guy throwing the ball is not still better off.
Vic has to find him eventually to even just throw to him 5 yards down the field. Let him do the work.
No, he's not going to do it. It's number 10. My number 11, which is technically 12, is Jeremy Maclin. He's at Minnesota this week. Same kind of thing as kind of with the Julio towards Matt Ryan. I mean, for good reason. Alex Smith only throws to Jeremy Maclin.
That's the only receiver they have.
It is. Number 12, Keenan Allen. He's at Green Bay. Again, this guy is a lottery ticket. He's you're either going to win big or you're not going to get anything out of him. But that being said, I mean, I think this is a game where they're going to be trailing. I think he's going to get some points and some catches. And Green Bay's you can play on Green Bay. You can their defense isn't phenomenal. Number 13, Antonio Brown. Here he is finally. Again, bad quarterback. And it's going to be shadowed by Pat Pete all game. Not a good combination. Again, I've seen websites had him number 23. I'm like, come on, it's still Antonio Brown. You're not really starting T.Y. Hilton over him. Number 14, I have Allen Robinson. He's at home against Houston. Good matchup. He had a good game last week. When it comes to him and Hearns, I like them both really. Like I could have had the same rankings probably and just put Hearns there, and I probably would have been the same. But I like Robinson this week. I give him the edge. But again, I do like Hearns as well, though he's not going to be in my top 20. Number 15, Jordan Matthews. Still solid for PPR. He's not as good as I was. Much higher than him earlier in the year. He's starting to drop down, but he's still wide receiver 2. Number 16 is the previously aforementioned T.Y. Hilton. Another guy, I don't like him at all. I really don't at all.
You never have. I
never liked T.Y. Hilton. My dislike for him has actually come, and looked right this year. He hasn't been great at all. But that being said, as long as luck plays and they're going to be trailing from probably the opening kickoff, they may start down points already. So I expect him to have some kind of catches. Number 17, James Jones at home against San Diego. I hate James Jones as a person and as a football player, but he does score touchdowns. Unfortunately, he countered. I'm in a league that has these idiotic bonus points where you get them for the touchdowns of over 40 yards. So I had Rawls who had that 70-some yard touchdown. I was all pumped. I never get these. I was pumped. I was doing a Tiger Woods Sunday fist pump.
I was there. I saw that.
Literally 90 seconds later, James Jones gets a 70-yard touchdown. He went from 0 points to 19.5 in one play. That is the prime example of why you do not have bonus points. And that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Fran, you stupid bonus points. I voted against. I'm going to vote against it next year. I'm going to get everybody else on my side. Number 18, and I wish Dante was here so I could rub his face in Willie Snead, baby. Willie Snead, number 18, he scoffed me through text in person on the show. Willie Snead, oh my God, who is he? Is he white or black? I can't even tell what he is. You know what he is? He's a damn fine receiver. He had 141 yards and a touchdown last week. So Willie Snead tops Brandon Cooks. He's my new New Orleans number 1. Number 19, Jarvis Landry at Tennessee. Again, coming off a bye, people may have forgotten about him, but he is solid. Good matchup, and we'll see what happens with new coach. Number 20, making his debut. He's had a very shadily good season, and I think he's going to continue this week. Mike Wallace, and he's at home against Kansas City. So give Mike Wallace a shot. If you look at his numbers, he's had a very solid season, and I think he's going to continue in that 6 to 7 catches, maybe 80 some yards. So
yeah,
I like
especially with Charles Johnson out. That's his go-to guy.
And if Charles Johnson is out, which I haven't read Charles Johnson updates because I hate Charles Johnson. Again, it's another guy on my hate list. If that's the case, Stephon Diggs is a pickup you got to go with. I didn't have him on my original waiver wire picks, but I'm going to add him now as a preemptive. As long as Charles Johnson does a play, go out and pick up Stephon Diggs.
All right, so my where we at? 11 for receivers. Keenan Allen at Green Bay. Boom or bust. I think he's going to boom.
That's boom.
He's booming this week.
He's boom Harrington this week.
Oh. Number 12, Emmanuel Sanders. Stan Slotty.
Stan Slotty? Oh, I had him higher than you.
I know you did.
I was getting Slotty
than
you.
I still like Demaryius more, so I'd rather I had Demaryius higher.
Yeah, Sanders outplayed him last week, and I don't even know who Peyton likes more anymore. I can't even tell these two.
Number 13, going Jarvis Landry at Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is horrid.
Yeah.
And I also like Miami's entire offense this week.
You're big. They're big on them.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a great week. But they're playing for a good coach now, so
the guy's never coached. How do you know he's a good coach?
Because anyone's a good coach when you lose Joe Philbin.
Anyone's an upgrade. Doesn't make him a good coach.
Having nobody is a good coach.
Having $1 doesn't make you rich. It makes you more rich than having $0. Doesn't make you rich.
All right. Number 14, Allen Robinson versus Houston. I don't like Allen Hearns at all. I've always hated him.
No, I'm a Hearns guy.
I don't like him. But I've always been an Allen Robinson fan. Love him at Penn State.
As well. So have I.
He's awesome. I'm expecting big things from him. 15, T.Y. Hilton, Sunday night. They're going to be throwing a lot. They're going to be down. Give it to T.Y. 16, Jerry Maclin, only receiver they have. Got to go with him. 17, if he's healthy, Alshon Jeffrey.
So, all right, just find a new 17. Let's just slot Willie Snead there because Alshon will never play.
Willie Snead would be my next one in.
Yeah, see, so Alshon Jeffrey has been day to day.
The last I saw
for 4 months
was he practiced today and he's playing. That's the last thing I saw on him.
No, he's not going to play. I can assure you that. I haven't even read it. I did. I didn't just blindly say it, but I don't know. I mean, I did it before he practiced or not.
And number 18, I'm still on Brandon Cooks.
I'm a Cooks. I had Cooks top 10, and he had a good game last week. I'm absolutely a Cooks fan, but I think Snead has really earned Breeze's trust.
And then number 19, Jordan Matthews, Monday night. It's gonna be a lot of balls getting thrown around up there, prime time. And number 20, I'm not as high on him as you are, but Brandon Marshall going against Washington.
Marshall's good, man. He's really good.
Because I still love Eric Decker, and I still expect them to spread the ball around. So I just don't trust it.
Oh, you like Eric Decker?
I've always liked Eric Decker.
Oh, well, let's just get to our sleepers and busts then. My sleeper of the week is Eric Decker.
Oh,
I like the Jets.
All right.
I like the Jets altogether this week. I was looking for like that, that name, the Willie Snead type name that comes out of nowhere. I didn't find anybody that really jumped out to me, so I figured let's just go for a guy who's not really sexy, who I think is gonna have a good game. I think Eric Decker is definitely gonna have a good game.
and by sexy you mean football sexy, not just like sexy.
He's both. He's also both. And for bust of the week, John Brown at Pittsburgh. I really don't have a good explanation for this one. Like, there's no facts or stats that could have came that said like,
something I don't
this
like.
is the reason. I'm not a fan of him.
No.
I'm going gut reaction this week. I don't think they're going to throw as easily as they have been with some of the lesser teams than they will with Pittsburgh, especially be on the road. It's never easy to play at Heinz. So I think if anybody's going to do good, I think it's going to be Fitzgerald. I think Brown takes a step back.
My bust, I went with Antonio Brown, even though I still had him top 10, but
You had him higher than I did. I don't have him as a bust.
I know, because I did the rankings first, but then when I got to the bust, I was like, Antonio Brown, he's a bust. But
Yeah, he's not top 2 anymore.
Yeah, but that's what he should.
Cash
be.
doesn't like hearing that.
He should be a bust. And then my sleeper, Travis Benjamin.
I was thinking about Travis Benjamin as well. I do. I never thought I'd say this before. I like Josh McCown targets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With Manziel in there. No, I would never.
He's a big play. They're gonna need big plays to try to keep up with Denver.
Yeah, good defense. The only thing I think the reason that what scared me off is the fact that he's playing Denver. Waiver wire pickups this week, and again, I do put these out on Tuesday on Twitter because obviously a lot of waiver wires become available Wednesday. So if I give it to you here, it really wouldn't do you much help. So check out Twitter at Sports Goombahs for those pickups on Tuesday. I had Jamison Crowder. I think Jamison Crowder is a guy you can feel comfortable starting for a week. I mean,
I'm actually starting him this week.
See, again, you shouldn't be too sad about that. Mark, I don't even have to say exactly his name. I'm just assuming it's Marquise. But Marquise Wilson from Chicago. Marquess, I don't know what how he spells it, but he's played well. I mean, with Alshon coming back, that could hinder his value, but he's been playing actually really well in Alshon's absence. And then Jalen Strong. I was assuming people are going to go out there and just run out and grab him in mass quantities because he had 2 touchdowns last week, or two touchdowns, or just 2 catches. I think 2 catches. I think 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
I gotta look into that. Yeah, I gotta do some better research on that one. But Jalen Strong, he finally debuted and he had 2 catches. I'm pretty sure they're both touchdowns. I'm gonna look into that now. An injury update: Deshaun Jackson did practice today. He's still questionable for the weekend. They're not sure if he's gonna play or not. They're kind of leaning towards starting him next week with a much better matchup than what they have this week against the tough Jets team and Revis and all that. But if Deshaun Jackson plays, you can feel free to start him. Devontae Adams, he did practice today. If he plays, you can play him. But I don't really trust Devontae Adams if he does play. Sorry, I apologize. Steve Smith Sr. He looks like he's going to play this week, which could affect Kamar Aiken's value, which Kamar Aiken he's been very more than adequate in his replacement. And then Alshon Jeffrey, of course, if he plays, I'd play him.
Yeah,
because the matchup is, like I said, it's gonna be a weird game.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be 3-0 because they both throw 5 picks each, or if it's gonna be 45-42 because they're both so bad on defense. That's a game that's gonna be a weird game. Detroit and it's in Chicago. That's what I have. Also, we'll get down before we get you out of here. We've got like 5 minutes left. The question of the day. So Kyle, I'm asking you officially, who has been, according to you, the biggest letdown so far through the first 5 weeks?
I'm going towards Melvin Gordon because of how high he was getting drafted.
A lot of big things were expected out of him.
Yes, he was expected huge things. Because I was debating between him and Devin Funches, but Funches was he wasn't drafted as highly as Gordon was. And
Yeah, Funches got his value off an injury to somebody else. It wasn't like everyone's like, okay, man, I can't wait to get Funches. It's like, okay, well, there's nobody else, so by default, I like Funches. Yeah. So that's a good pick as well. I would say for my real letdown week, it's got to be Nelson Aguilar. He's gotten the most votes on Facebook that we had out there, and also some on Twitter. I mean, people were drafting him like 7th, 8th round, penciling him into their lineup on a weekly basis, and yeah, I expected big things out of him. He's been dropped in a lot of leagues. He's still out there. So I mean, Nelson Aguilar to me has been the biggest letdown because everyone. I mean, it's the whole Eagles offense. All preseason they looked phenomenal. They looked anything but during the season so far. And Aguilar he's been a letdown. He's been outproduced by Josh Huff. Never thought that would happen. On Facebook, we got some answers. Nelson Aguilar. He's getting all the snaps. It's like he's not getting the field. He's getting snaps. He's getting targets. He's just done nothing. We actually had a Cowboys fan right, and he said Nelson Aguilar. He said I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'll admit I was nervous about the kid. But he's not lived up to his potential whatsoever. The chef chimed in. He said Aguilar. He's like, I thought he was going to kill it. This is a little biased. A Dolphins fan came in and said Devontae Parker has done absolutely nothing, despite being, I think it was a top 15 pick in the draft, top 10 maybe.
Hopefully it's just because of Philbin. Now he can start playing well.
I hope he does. I mean, hopefully the whole team changes. Then, of course, stupid Joey, previous co-host, he chimes in, oh, I don't think anyone on here was actually a bust. And he goes into some long, tangent about how, well, the bust moniker means blah, 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 blah. Shut up, Joey. Just shut up.
Who do you think we are, Joey?
First of all, I didn't say the word bust. I said letdown. You scumbag. I'm sorry. I'm mad at Joey for something completely unrelated to this topic. Joey's not one of my fans right now. Or I'm not one of his fans right now. Then actually got a guy who wrote in. He broke down every single player, but his main one he picked was Amir Abdullah. A lot of people were expecting big things out of him. He was going off the draft boards in the 4th, 5th round. He's been a letdown. Theo Riddick is getting plays over him. Then on Twitter, we had a couple tweets in. Somebody said, at Fantasy Generals. I guess they must be good at fantasy if that's their name. He said Funches with an exclamation point. He was serious about that.
He means business.
He meant that. He said Funches, man. At DRC721 chimed in. He said it has to be Melvin Gordon or Devontae Parker. Gordon's drafted to be a first running back, and he hasn't broken out at all yet. And he said there's actually an APB out for Parker. Nobody's seen him. They're worried about his well-being.
I don't know his whereabouts yet.
And I'm sure I actually agree with that. So, Cash, you have any kicker or defense questions you want to get in real quick?
Well, why is Aguilar having a bad season? Is they not going to him?
No, he's getting targets.
Or is that damn Sam Bradford who can't play football, can't get the ball to him?
Can we cut his own mic off?
Cut your mic off.
Yeah, cut your own mic off.
That Bradford's a disappointment. Forget about the rookie. He's got a quarterback who can't play. Who can't play in the first half.
That being said, guys, appreciate you chiming in. This is, of course, the SG Fantasy Football Show. Join us next Wednesday. I really hope I'm not sick next Wednesday. I do apologize for my coughing and wheezing and sniffling. It's been ugly. And I hope I get both of you sick, though.
No.
I'm just kidding.
If you're going to be sick, I'm going to be so mad.
And don't forget, check us out next week because I'm going to give you the details on how to win free tickets. Who doesn't want to see free football? Free Philadelphia football.
Especially Temple, they're going undefeated this year. They're going to the national championship.
Why not? They are 5-0 right now. And actually, the game it's a game against Memphis.
And I'm pretty sure PJ Walker is going to win Heisman.
Nobody knows who PJ Walker is but you and me. But yeah, they're playing Memphis, who is 5-0 as well. So you may get a nice, if they keep it up, get a nice little top 25 battle going on.
Battle of the undefeated.
I'm sure that'll happen.
Winner goes to
the BCS national championship game.
Yeah, they're going to the playoffs.
That'll happen. Thanks for joining us again, and we will see you next week.